Hello, I'm going to be editing a report that is, let's see, for the ESD, the Environmental Services Department for Jefferson County, Alabama. And what they have is an issue with their connection and repair report, which is a report that they send out to demolition contractors that get a sewer disconnection permit, and it doesn't populate the contact information with the demolition contractor information. So you'll be joining me in repairing that report. All right, so first thing is sewer disconnection permit. I'm going to take a look at that. And open up report builder. This is version 2014. And navigate to my projects here. I'm going to go into test and see if I can look at that for a minute. I believe that is the report. That looks like it. Flipping back and forth there. So I didn't design this report originally, so I'm looking at some fields I'm not too familiar with here. So this is F14, F15, F16A, F16B, F16C, F16D, F16, F17, and probably F18. So, all right, so first off, I'm going to open up the data set properties. I'm going to grab this query and I'm going to open up Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to place it in here. I'm going to open up a new file. Go to SQL and paste. And now I'm going to go to SQL Server, which is a add-on that I have for Visual Studio Code. And I'm connected to the database for test. This is test. And I'm going to run this against the database, but I need something to populate this record ID variable. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to the environment and find a record I can run it against. And I also kind of want to see what I'm working with. Like I want to see an example record and what it's doing right now versus what I'm going to be changing it to. So this will be a good test. So this is ESD permits, and I think it's impact division. Yeah. Connection permit, I think. Let me take another look at that email. ENVCon 21 1291. I think this is probably an example from production. So I think the issue is that the type of plumber, the type of contact that it's trying to get is not compatible with what they're collecting in the record. So let me take a look at one of these test records here. And I think that, so right here, they have a master plumber, professional, but what they're really collecting in production, let me open up production. I just want to see that example. ENVCon, okay. Well, okay, so the contacts that they have are, they don't have a professional, but they do have a contact. What is their contact? Their contact is a demolition contractor. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I think I will look for a demolition contractor first. And if there's not a demolition contractor, then look for a professional. So I'll plug in a contact first. All right. So if I run this report now, I go to the portlet, and under ESD permits, sewer connection repair permit. It's taking a minute. It's taking a good minute. Might have to stop this if it doesn't resolve soon. Okay. Okay, resolved. And so I do get, the plumber information because the query is looking for a licensed professional. And if I run this, this is running against test. So, and that record has a professional, not a contact. So if I remove this contact, and I add a demolition contractor, I'm going to put something in here for each field, I think, just to see. So make sure I get fields that I want. Oh, let's see. So I got all these fields filled out, and okay. All right, so I created a new contact, a demolition contractor. And now if I run that report, since there's no professional, and they don't, in production, they don't require one. When I run this, it comes up blank. I'm going to change this report now to look for that demolition contractor. All right, so let's look at my Visual Studio Code. This is test. I'm going to be using this permit number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say declare varchar 15 equals at what is it called? Record ID. Yeah, with a capital ID. Record ID varchar 15 equals that permit. All right, so I'm going to run that against the test database. I get two results. Okay, so for the fields called F14 through F18, I get null. All right, and that's because F14 is looking for a licensed professional. I'm going to get rid of this line. That's not needed. Okay, so let me think about this for a minute. This is the section I'm looking at right here. This is getting, the F14 is using a function to get the full name of the licensed professional, but everything else in that section is getting information from a joined table instead, which is interesting. C. I think I'm going to change that even for the licensed professional. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the function for so under programmability, under stored procedures, no, I'm sorry, under functions, under scalar valued functions, there's a get function get licensed professional info. And we got parameters. Those parameters are client ID, ID1, ID2, ID3, get field, name, format, case, and license type. But I'm going to right click on that and say script as alter. So that will bring up another window with that actual function in it. It's a big, long, very convoluted function. So but what this function is built to do is to get parts of the licensed professional contact, and I'm going to use that throughout. So instead of using a joined C table, the C table, I'm going to use the function to get each piece of these for the licensed professional, and if there's no licensed professional, get it from the contact that's called demolition contractor. And that is also gotten from fn get contact info. Which is really similar to the licensed professional one. All right, so let me see what this join C table is and just remove it if I don't need it. All right, so we got our joins here. Okay. All right. B3 contra. So I'm curious about that. Okay, it looks like the only thing, this whole block code may get to go away if I can get all those parts without having to join that table, just using the function. Okay. Okay, let me go back to these parts here. So I need a license number. I need a phone, 1 zip, state, city, address, 234 or 123, sorry, and business name. And there may have been a reason why they didn't use a function for some of these. Maybe it doesn't get, for instance, this B1 license number in the function. So I need to make sure of that because I'm going to be changing the whole way that this works. Okay, so gosh, I wish I could clean this up a bit, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is look for this get field. So I'm going to find that and I'm going to just cycle through it. So this is business name ADDR. What are they looking for right here? They're looking for full name. This is like concatenating all those fields together. Address 1, there's something I need. Address 2 is something I need, and address 3 there. City is, I need that. State, I need that too. And zip. Full address block, I don't need that. Tron address block 2, I don't need that. Full address line, don't need that. CSZ, which is city state zip, I don't need that. Full info, I don't believe I need that. Name, address, these are all concatenated fields. I don't think I need that. First name, so, okay, first off, I'm going to in my environment here, I think I'm going to add back another, oh, hold on. Let me look up a plumbing master called tester. That's my personal licensed professional. And this has, I'm going to add a middle name to it. Put a space in there. Okay. All right, so I do have that. So now if I run that query again, I should have some fields populated. Oh, oops. Okay. Yeah. Test for middle name, test face. That Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so I got my professional in there now. This guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this using these function fields in place of that, but with F15, it's a business name. You know what, I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to hold off on that. But I will do this. I will do address 1, address 2, address 3. Okay. So I'm going to say address 1. What each one of these parameters for the function is. Of course, this is telling me the record it needs to get it from. This is telling me what field. This is telling me the format of what order to put the name, which is not required for an address. So I'm going to say null. The initial, what do you want italicized? I'm sorry, not italicized. what do you want initialized? So you want the first initial to be capitalized. What do you want capitalized? And it's the first initial. So even if I have Main Street all capitalized in the field, it will change that to just capital M and then lowercase AIN Street. So that's what that means. And then plumbing master is the licensed professional type. All right, so that's that, except I want to concatenate the fields, address 1, address 2, address 3. So I'm going to say case when it's not null, then get that. And and with SQL Server, I can say plus, and then I'm going to put another end here real quick. Hold on. And plus case when address 2 is not null, then that address 2, then okay, then comma, what's that? Okay. And case case 3 is not null, plus that. And as that. Okay. Looks okay to me. All right. So now I'm going to replace this with that and with a city. Replace this with a state. Replace this with a zip. Okay. And I'm going to replace this with a phone one. Let me see if I get a license number. I should. There's the phone fields, fax, email, Sir Des. I don't know what that is. Oh, license number. Or a license number. Okay. Okay. So I will replace this with that. Oh shoot. Phone. Okay, phone one. Okay, phone one. Phone one. License number. I'm gonna replace with license. YCENSE-NBR. Okay. Let's see if I run this now. I get F14 is full name. Okay. F15 is the C business name, which I have to replace with the function, or I'd like to replace with a function. C16 is, oh, C16A is null, huh? Okay. All right, let's investigate why this F16A is null still. Make sure that I didn't null this for no reason. I did null that parameter. Okay. It's PID 3, get field is address 3. Name format is null. So name format. Name format. Find that. I don't think it cares what the name format is if I'm getting an address. Just want to make sure. Business name. This is still under, no, yeah. Business name. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't appear to care what that is. So I am a plumbing master, right? Yes. Okay. Let me make sure I got addresses. Their Main Street. There's no address line 3, so that should always be null. Okay, let me see if that was the issue. Put a else here. Let me put an else here. And let me put a else here. F16A. Okay, now we got something. Okay, all right, that looks correct. I just need that else. Okay. All right, so I still have Nashville, Tennessee. Now I have to build in what we need. So I've replaced, okay, city, state, okay, city, state. 16D is zip. F17 is the phone one. So F18 is the license number. Is that right? Yep. That is right. Although it's lowercase. Let me do this as U, uppercase. F18. Okay, now it's all uppercase. Okay, that's the end of it, F18. Now I want to build in case, in the case that that is blank. Now, I said in the beginning, I think I wanted to do the contact the demolition contractor. I think I'm going to do that second, actually. So to do that, I will go back up here and starting here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to separate these out a little bit so I can have some room to see what I'm doing. All right. So I want the licensed professional first, and if that's not available, then I'm going to, so I'm going to look for the full name of the licensed professional. And if that's empty, or the company name, oh, I didn't do the business name, did I? Oops. So that is business name, bus name. Okay. So F15 now should still be business. what's its name? Excella with the uppercase because I have the I. All right, that's fine. All right, so now I've excluded altogether C. So I'm now going to remove C and see if I get any errors. All right, so I don't get any errors. That's good. So F14 through F18 is still populating without C, the B3 contra table. All right, so I've excluded C. I've isolated this full name. And now I'm going to say, get the licensed professional first. And if there is none, then get the demolition contractor. So that is this function here, get contact info, fn get contact info. But I'm going to do this as a case. So I'm going to say case when it's null. Let's say is not. Then get that. Oh, is that what I want? Yeah, I guess so. Else, I say DPO fn get contact info be serve of B1 per ID1, B1 per ID2, B1 per ID3. Contact type is demolition contractor. Relation. So let's take a look at this function. This is optional. Don't know what that temp position is. Ooh. Tell you what, this is some complex coding, and here I may not get to figure out what the relation should be. But I think it has to do with a contact. I think there's a relationship field. Yeah, there's a relationship field that we're not using. So not needed. So I'm going to leave that as null. All right, now what's the next one? Primary contact flag. Let's see what the options are for that. Wrong one. Contact is Y, returns primary contact, else returns first contact. Okay. I'm going to set that as no, because all I care about is if the contact type is demolition contractor. All right. Get field. So for this one, I want the full name. And so I'm going to find full name. Get field. Here's my options. Okay. So let's do full name. And name format. It's going to be first, middle, last. Case is going to be I. So those are satisfied as parameters for that. That's the end. All right, now here's the interesting part. I'm going to use this as the full case for getting each one of these. So basically what I'm saying is if there's not a full name filled out for a licensed professional, which there always should be, then resort to getting the demolition contractor. So for each one of these fields, so I'm going to start this with a case. I'm going to paste in that if that full name is not populated, I'm going to say then get licensed professional for that. Go ahead and give me some room here too. Else, I'm going to copy this. I want the business name. I'm going to assume that's what's in here. I don't know if there's a business name for a contact. Let me see if there's a business name. Nope. So that's going to be org. org name. Okay, so I got that in there. So good. So I can end that. Okay, I got some room here. Okay, this is dealing with addresses now. All right, so I'm going to actually change this up a bit. All these. Okay. There we go for that one. Yeah, this gets a little complicated. Done. Else. This one. It's not. Else that. And plus. And hold on. Man, okay. How many cases am I inside here? So I'm gonna give me some space here. And this case. And how many cases do I got? 1, 2, This is ended. This is ended. This is ended, right? Give me an error here. Let me see what it says. And plus, yeah. I don't know if I can have a plus after that. Yeah, this is the complicated part, the address, because I've got 3 fields I'm concatenating together. And I'm doing it between if there is a licensed professional versus a contact. Okay, I figured out, I think I just need to remove the pluses after these ends. That resolved all of that. So what I think I'm going to do now is copy this whole block, get rid of my search. Just change all these to address 2s. For this block. I'm still looking for full name to be public. Make sure that address 2 exists in this parameter. Yes. Yeah, get field address 1, address 2, address 3 exists. So that's good. Okay. And I'm going to do, even though address 3 doesn't exist at all. Well, it does actually for the contact. So there is a contact. Address 3. So I do need to do that for the whole, this whole block for address 3. Let's run that and see if I get the same result. This is F16A. Right now I'm getting 123 Main Street, address line 2. Let's run it again. F16A, I'm getting 123 Main Street. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, okay. We got an easy fix for this, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna say that plus this. Or that plus this. Okay. This plus that. Or this plus that. All right. F16A. All right. Yes. That's good. 123 Main Street, address line 2 is the professional. So if I remove, now if I remove the professional, I just have the demolition contractor. And I run this against the database. 16A. Then I get 111 Main Street, comma, address line 2, address line 3. Yes, that looks right. Yes. That's test from test face. F15 is the organization name. Company type. No. Well, that's the company name. Where's that at? Oh, business name. Okay. Yeah, business name. Okay. And F16B. All right, so I'm gonna kind of clean this up. Just coming back together again. And now I'm looking for city. So now I want to say this. Give me some room again. Okay. It's not all of them. Else contact info. For the city. And so F16B should get me the city. Nashville. All right. Just looking for the full name as the deciding factor if I'm going to get the licensed professional or the contact. So I'm going to copy this block again to get the state and zip and the phone number and the license number and all that. What's this? State. Oh yeah, I should be saying null for all this, but it doesn't matter at all. Okay. Okay. Plugged in the old laptop there, and so I'm back to work, and so I got F16C. Which should be the state, and let's run that and see if we get a state for F16C, which we do. All right. F16D is the zip code. And I will get this. Some room here. And this. Else. Good. The zip. And as F16D. Okay, got a zip code. All right, and I need a phone 1. Do the same. Oops. Some space here. Give me some space here. That one. This, but give me the phone 1. Yeah. All right, let's do phone 1 for F17. I do. All right, everything's looking really, really good. Now for license number on the report, I'm not so sure that a contact would actually have a license number. Let's see what could be in place of that though. I mean, state ID number maybe? Let's see what field that really is. Oh. State ID number is what it's called. State ID number. I don't know if there is a field for state ID number. I don't see one. I don't think there is one. There's not one. So there's not a field for state ID number. There's not a field for that. So master plumber's card number makes me feel like that a demolition contractor won't have a master plumber's card number anyway. So that should be null if it is a demolition contractor. So I don't think I have to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I don't think I have to do anything about that. It'll be null. I don't think I have to do anything. All right, so good. I think I'm done. I'm going to comment this out and let's see how clean it looks before I commit it back. All right. I think I like it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the report. So what I did was I took the report, and so here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let me be real. If I actually take this data set properties and I replace this query with what I'd edited, and I hit OK. It's going to ask me for credentials to the database. And for some reason, the VPN that I have to the client network doesn't like the credentials, even though it's correct. Like I have the credentials. So here's the workaround. instead of putting in the credentials and it failing, which I know it will, I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to edit this report using the RDL file. This is an RDL file, which is a report it's like an XML file, except it's a report definition language file. So let me get that. That's going to be under reports. And this is a number 17 sewer connection permit. So, okay, I'm opening this RDL file, report definition language file. And in that file it's basically an XML file with the command text as with the query inside of it. So this whole thing, I'm going to replace the command text inside of that RDL file, so I don't have to go through the mess of the credential issue that I have, and all that stuff. So let me put that extra space in there. Not a big deal, but just picky. Okay, that should be good. I'm gonna save. So I've saved that file, and now I'm going to remote desktop into test database server. I'm going to pause for a second so I can log in without revealing the credentials. And I'm back. Logged into that database server. I'm going to open up Chrome and go into the report manager. Upload that report that I've just saved. Today, overwrite. All right. I'm just going to look at the data source to make sure that it's good. Yes. Okay. Data source is good. Parameters, and that's good. Okay. So now I'm in test. So I got that report deployed. I have no professional, and I have a contact for the demolition contractor as the contact type. I'm going to run that same report, and instead of getting a blank report or blank contact, okay, let me look at my, yeah, okay. Well, I got the full name. I got the full name. So if I take out that full name, let's see what happens. Okay, I get the first, middle, now last name, business name, address, city, state, zip, and a nothing on the master plumber's card number. which I feel like is correct. All right. I think I'm good. There's two fee items. Yep, two fee items. Okay. And that's it. That's how I edited the report to get the contact as a demolition contractor. If there is no professional on the record. So let me just test it again real quick using a master. So already, look up. Okay, so if there's both, it's going to pick the professional first over the content, demolition content. So let me run that report again. Yeah. This is my contractor. I put in the second address line in there just to run it again, make sure. Okay. Yep. Got the address line 2 with a comma separated. Looks good to me. All right, and that's it. Thanks for watching.